Hello everyone. In this class, we will be dealing with moment of inertia of elemental areas such as rectangle, triangle, and circle, semicircle, etc., etc. Okay, let us consider the moment of inertia of rectangle from first principle. The meaning of first principle is nothing but from the formula integration like ixx is equal to integration y square into dA. That is the first principle formula. So now let us consider rectangle of dimensions b and d. Okay, and let the g be the center of the rectangle. Okay, let us consider x bar as the central distance from y-axis and y bar be the central distance from the x-axis. Okay, and we know the definitions of x bar and y bar. I mean, you can calculate. So if b is the width, so x bar will be equal to b by 2, and if d is the depth, y bar is equal to d by 2. So that we can find it out, which is nothing but the central distances. Okay, and in this case, if we want to calculate moment of inertia about its central axis, that's nothing but it can be about x-x axis or y-y axis. Okay. So if we calculate moment of inertia about x-x axis, so it will be actually called ixx. So it will be moment of inertia about x-x axis will be ixx, and moment of inertia about y-axis will be Iyy, right? So these both things we need to find out, right? So that is what we will be doing in this class, right? And also we may need to calculate the moment of inertia about the base axis like CD, AB, and CD, right? Next. So now let us first consider Ixx. So to calculate the moment of inertia about central axis xx and yy, Ixx and Iyy. So let us consider the rectangle BD and let G be centered as usual. So x axis be that, okay. And so we know that the distance of centroid from the base, because it divides equally, so the distances will be d by 2 d by 2. Now, so in order to derive the moment of inertia, let us consider small elemental area of thickness dy, okay, and let it be situated at a distance y from the x-axis, okay. I mean, yeah, central x-axis, okay. So that is what we did, and so therefore the area of that small elemental area will be equal to, which if we consider it as a dA, so the formula says breadth into depth, right? So v into dy will be the area of that small elemental area, okay. Next, uh, therefore, we know that from the first principle, what is the first moment of area of moment of that small element area about x-axis? It will be nothing but dy into, I mean, a dA into, that is area into the distance. Okay, so because this thickness is very small, so it can be considered as y. So therefore, dA into y is the moment of area, first moment of area. So second moment of area. So we know that moment of inertia is nothing but second moment of area. Let us calculate second moment of area. Nothing but moment of area, which is equal to dA into y. So it becomes dA of y square. Okay. Next. So here now, and uh, the previous thing, whatever we have d capital dA into y square is the moment of inertia or second moment of area of the small elemental area. If you want to get the complete moment of inertia, what we need to do? We need to do the integration. So integration ixx is equal to integration minus d by 2 to plus d by 2 y square into dA. Same thing which we have whatever is there here. So it has to be considered. It's within the parenthesis of the integration. Okay. So, and we know that why this is okay, because if this y varies from, actually speaking, from here to here. That's nothing but 0 to plus d by 2. And actually speaking, there is one y which may vary even here as well, right? So which the y value which is below the x-axis is negative. Okay, so it will be taken as minus d by 2. Okay, so here it is minus d by 2, and it is 0 here, and plus d by 2 here. So therefore it varies from minus d by 2 to plus d by 2. Okay, so just now the next steps are very simple. You just need to do the integration and substitute those limits, right? So also we know the dA is equal to b into dy. Okay, therefore ixx is equal to y square into b into dy, and you can because b is a constant, it does not vary, only the value of y which will vary. Okay, therefore uh, the y value, next step, so integration of y square, all of you might be knowing. So what is the integration of y square? Y cube by 3. Okay, and the limits, you substitute the limits, which are nothing but minus d by 2 to plus d by 2. So which is nothing but b by 3. You can simplify it. Okay, y cube, where limits vary from minus d by 2 to plus d by 2, and ixx is equal to, simplify it further. Okay, mm, which is given b by 3 into d by 2 whole cube minus minus of, because the limit, if you were substitute minus d by 2 the whole cube, so uh, minus cube will be minus only, so minus into minus plus it will become. Therefore ixx is equal to b by 3 plus d cube by 8 plus d cube by 8, which will become d cube by 4. Therefore bd cube by 12 is the moment of inertia of rectangle about its central axis. Okay, so similarly, what we need to do is, you can consider moment small elemental area about parallel to y-axis here. Okay, and that thickness you can consider as dx. Okay, that thickness you can consider as dx, and the moment of inertia about y-axis will be equal to Iyy is equal to, limit varies from and here it will be b, right? So therefore limit will vary from b by 2 to minus b by 2 to plus b by 2, and x square into dA. Okay, so if it, we know that ixx will depend upon y square into dA, Iyy will be x square into dA. So just if you do it, this one, so you will get Iyy is equal to uh, db dq, I mean b cube d by 12, or you can just take it as db cube by 12. Okay, you can consider it as db cube by 12, right? So that is the moment of inertia of a rectangle about the central axis. Okay, now we also need to find out the moment of inertia about the bases. Okay, so if we consider moment of inertia about ab, so it will be from parallel axis theorem. We have so IAB is equal to, we know what is the parallel axis theorem. It states that moment of inertia about any axis parallel to the central axis is equal to sum of moment of inertia about central axis plus area, product of area and square of the distance between the two parallel axes. Okay, so that is what this one is. IAB is equal to IXX plus area into uh, the distance between two parallel axes, which is nothing but d by 2, right? Distance between two parallel axes, you can see here, the distance between, this is one axis and other axis is this one, so distance between these two parallel axes is d by 2. So that is what we will be substituting here. So Ixx we have got. So you can just substitute the value of Ixx bd cube by 12 plus area is b into d. You can see area is total area. Okay, total area, and d then this is d by 2 as it is. So just further simplification, you can get this is equal to bd cube by 12 plus d square by 4. So bd cube by 12 plus bd cube by 4. If you take LCM, it will be 12. Okay, so bd cube plus 3 bd cube, it will become 4 bd cube. Okay, therefore that 4 by and 4 goes 3. Okay, so it will be bd cube by 3. So this is the moment of inertia about base of a rectangle, right? So similarly you can calculate moment of inertia of the same rectangle about CD. Okay, which will become um, dv cube by 3, dv cube by 3, right? So this is how we will be finding out the moment of inertia of the rectangle about central axis Ixx and Iyy, and um, I AB and ICD. You can just see BD cube. I mean B cube D by 3 or DB cube by 3, one and the same, right? Next, let us move on with moment of inertia of a triangle from first principle. So as usual, let's consider a rectangle triangle like this. Okay, and let height be the h, and width of the triangle be base width be b. Okay, and let us consider this g as the center of the triangle, and we know that we need to find out moment of inertia about x-axis and y-axis. Okay, and we let us consider x bar and y bar be the distance of centroid from the bases. Okay, we know that in this case we have already derived x bar is equal to what will be the distance x bar, one third of or b by 3, and y bar is equal to h divided by 3 from the base. Okay, so that definitions we know we have derived in the central topic. Now we need to find out moment of inertia about x-axis, which is equal to Ixx, and moment of inertia about y-axis, which will be called Iyy. So that we need to derive from first principle, right? um, so now consider the same triangle, everything. Okay, so we know that in to derive the moment of inertia, first we should find out second moment of small elemental area, and then if you integrate it, we'll be getting the total moment of inertia. But thing is there is little difference in this triangle. What we will be doing? So initially we will not be finding moment of inertia about the x-axis. What we, actually in previous case, what we did in the rectangle, we did actually we had calculated the moment of inertia about central axis. Then we had calculated moment of inertia about the base. But now in this case, because we will be finding the moment of inertia about the base, and then using parallel axis theorem, we will be finding the moment of inertia about the central axis. The difference, why? Because actually, if you for finding out the moment of inertia about central axis, it will be difficult. Why? I'll let you know. So let us consider the small elemental area dA, okay, of thickness dy, and which is there at, and the width equal to b dash, and let y be the distance from base. Actually speaking, I was uh, mentioning about the difficulty, right? Difficulty part. The difficulty part is, so if you consider this elemental area, and if we start calculating moment of inertia about the central axis, we should take y as the central distance. So the difficult part here is, So as you know that as y varies, the moment of inertia also will vary. Okay, I mean, sorry, not moment of inertia. As y varies, the b dash will also vary. Okay, so here in order to calculate, we need to actually calculate the value of b dash in terms of, actually this is some arbitrary. I mean, this is a variable, so we need to calculate this variable in terms of b and d. So that will be difficult in this, if you consider moment of inertia about x-axis. Okay, so the limits will vary from, actually it will vary from this, and I mean here 0 to 2/3 of um, h, and minus, then 0 to minus 1/3 of h, or h by 3. So actually speaking, you can do it, but it will become more complex. So to make it simpler, what you can do is you can actually consider the moment of inertia about base first, and then we can calculate the moment of inertia of central axis. Okay, so the simplification will be very difficult. Okay, so now yeah, so now we will be considering moment of inertia. First we will be calculating moment of inertia about base. Okay, then we will be converting that to, I mean, moment of inertia about central axis. Okay, so and as I've already told you, as y varies, the b dash also will vary. So if the y is less, b dash will be more. Okay, if you take y here, somewhere here, then b dash will be more. So, and it's a, we need to, because in order to substitute this b dash and simplify, you cannot keep this in b dash only, so we need to convert it into b, and in terms of b and h only. Okay, so that part we will do it now. So we know that area is equal to dA, which is equal to, of this small elemental area, is equal to b dash into dy. And you may ask me a question that so is it a rectangle purely? It's not actually. So you can see there is some inclination part. Actually speaking, this elemental area is a trapezoid, but since the thickness dy is very very negligible or very very small, so this inclined can be considered as a like this. It can be considered as a vertical surface only. Okay, so it does not make any difference, small difference that. Okay, and you can see this side is balanced by, this extra side will be balanced by this side. Okay, so you can just assume that it's a vertical phase, and you can carry on with your calculation. B dash into dy, the thickness is dy. So next, we know from first principle. So first moment of area about base. Since we are finding out the moment of inertia about base, so the first moment of area will be equal to dy, this area, into this perpendicular distance, which is equal to a, I mean y, d, d, dA, the total area dA into y. Okay. Second moment of area is nothing but moment of area. So dA into y, that is moment of area. Moment of area will be into y. So dA into y, that becomes dA into y square. So next, let us proceed. Um, so we know from the first principle. Okay, moment of inertia about base is equal to iab is equal to 0 to, actually this is not b, this is h. So the value y square into dA. Okay, and the limit from vary from 0 to h. Okay, so we just let us substitute the value of dA equal to b dash into dy. So it becomes iab is equal to 0 to h y square into b dash into dy. And as I told you, so because this is a variable, okay, b dash is a variable, so it has to take part in this integration. It cannot be taken outside. Okay, it's not a constant. So definitely we need to convert that b dash to in b dash in terms of d, b and h. Okay. Now, so to do that, let us consider similar triangles. Okay. This triangle, okay, and another big triangle. Okay. So in the bigger triangle, we know that b divided by h. Okay. So in the bigger triangle, b divided by h will be equal to b dash divided by, what is this distance from here to here? We'll be getting that, that distance equal to h minus y, right? So because this is the total height is h, and distance from here to here is y, therefore this distance is equal to h minus y. Therefore, so b dash is this face from here to here. Okay. So b dash divided by this height, so which is equal to h minus y. So substitute, I mean, therefore, b dash is equal to, cross multiply, this will go to this side. So therefore, b into h minus y divided by h. So the same thing you will be, simplifying. So that becomes b dash is equal to b into 1 minus y divided by h. So that will be substituting here in the above equation. So if we call this as equation number 1, so we'll be substituting the value of b dash in that. So that becomes 0 to h, y square into b into 1 minus y by h. Next, further simplification. So you send the y inside, multiply that y. Okay. So and you can take this b outside. It's a constant. Okay. It is fixed, no. So y square into y cube by h into dy. Next, further simplification and integration. Upon integration, so y square, integration of y square will be y cube by 3, and integration of y cube will be y to the power 4 divided by 4, and h as usual you just multiply. And the limits vary from 0 to h. Why? Because now the AB is at the base, so y starts from here. Okay, that's nothing but 0, and it will be up to h we will take. So therefore, the limits are from 0 to h. So substitute them and simplify it. So it will become h cube minus 3 minus h to the power 4 divided by h, and this 1h and 1h will go off. So it will become h cube by 3 minus h cube by 4. Okay. So if you take LCM 3 into 4, 3, it will be 12. So therefore 4h cube minus 3h cube, it will become 1h cube. Therefore it will, the equation for moment of inertia about base will become bh cube by 12. So that is the formula which we arrived due by considering moment of inertia about the base from first principle. So as I've told you, we need moment of inertia about central axis. Okay. So now let us consider, okay, case 2, moment of inertia about central axis. So as I've already told you, so we will be finding the moment of inertia about central axis using parallel axis theorem. Since we know moment of inertia about base, which is nothing but IAB, okay, from parallel axis theorem we can get IXX. Okay. So we know that moment of inertia about base is equal to Ixx plus A into total area into square of the distance between two parallel axes, which is equal to y bar. But we have actually IAB. We need to find out the value of Ixx. Therefore, Ixx will if will become IAB minus A into y bar square. Okay. So you can further, so Ixx is equal to IAB minus A into, you can substitute the value of y bar. Y bar for a triangle, distance of centroid from the base in a triangle is given by the h by 3. So we have substituted that. Okay. And substitute the value of IAB. Okay. So which is equal to BH cube by 12, and area is equal to uh, area of the triangle. So base into half into base into height. So half into base into height. So which BH by 2, and substitute those values and simplify them. So BH cube by 12 here, and BH by 2 area, and H square by 3. It will become H square by 9. So further simplification, then it will become bh cube by 12 minus bh cube by 18, and then if you take LCM, it will become 1 by 36, and 12 3 is 36, so 3 bh cube, and 18 2 is 36, so 2 bh cube. So bh cube, 3 bh cube minus 2 bh cube, it will become 1 bh cube by 3 by 36. Okay, and that is nothing but the moment of inertia about central axis, x axis, which is called as Ixx. Okay, and this is how we'll find out moment of inertia about x axis, which is Ixx. Okay, similarly you can obtain moment of inertia about the central axis, y axis, which is equal to b cube h by 36 or hb cube by 12. Okay, hb cube divided by sorry, not 12, 36. This is Iyy, and uh, ICD about the base, vertical base. Okay, uh, can also be taken as hb cube by 12. Okay, about the base, right? So that's the end of the moment of inertia of a triangle. Next, let us move on to find the moment of inertia of a circle about the diametrical axis from first principle. Diametrical axis is nothing but central axis in this case. Okay, now okay, let us consider a circle of radius, I mean diameter d and radius r. Okay, let G be the centroid, as we know that centroid lies exactly at the center of the circle, and let us pass a section x-axis, I mean uh, through the central axis. Okay, and let so as usual for deriving the moment of inertia, we need to consider elemental area and find the second moment of elemental area, and then the total moment of inertia can be obtained by integrating that second moment of area of that small elemental area with respect to the limits. Okay, next, so as usual, so let us consider small elemental area. Actually speaking, it's some okay, a sector of a circle. Okay, small piece of, in case of the circle. Okay, and let G be the center of that elemental area. Okay, let A be the distance of that small elemental area from center. Okay, we know that okay, let us consider the uh, we know that actually speaking, if A is the distance, and let us consider thickness as dA. Okay, and then this width. Okay, this width from here to here will become a into d theta. Okay, so if let us consider this thickness, I mean the angle between this angle made by this small elemental area at the center be d theta, and this entire sector, okay, is making an angle of theta from the horizontal x-axis, and if dA is the thickness. Okay, and then actually speaking, we know that if A is the radius, then here the width of this sector will become A into d theta. Okay, so this d theta is the angle here, so this will become r d theta. You know, in case of some sector, right, if r is the radius and theta is the angle, then the circumference, I mean length of this arc will be equal to r d theta, r theta. Okay, so that is what we are applying here. So if d theta is the angle made by the sector, then the um, the dimension of this will be equal to a into d theta. Okay, and let you know, if a is the distance from here. Okay, in the radial direction, and so if y is the distance from distance of this small centered, I mean this point centered of this small elemental area. Okay, then the vertical distance of this small, I mean this centroid, small elemental area of this centroid. Okay, then that is equal to y is equal to a into sine theta, because you need to take this triangle, consider this triangle. Okay, and we that actually becomes you know, this is a. Okay, and therefore if you take sine theta is equal to opposite side, which is equal to y. divided by hypotenuse, which is equal to a. Therefore y is equal to a sine theta. Okay, so that's how we'll need to find, because this y is required to find out moment of this elemental area about this x axis. That's the reason why we are finding it out. Therefore we know area is equal to the thickness into the width of this elemental area, so which is equal to a into d theta, this width into thickness, which is equal to dA. So that will become a dA d theta into dA. Now let us further move further. If I've already explained this thing. So the distance of small elemental area from x-axis will be a sine theta. Okay, and so as usual, I've already explained this as well. So let theta and theta plus d theta represents the boundaries of the elemental area with respect to x. So we know that as y varies, okay, as this y varies, theta will vary from 0 to 3 pi. Okay, so this y will vary from 0 to r. Okay, value of y will vary from 0 to r, and theta will vary from actually y can be 0 to r and minus r as well. Okay, so theta will vary from uh, 0 to 360 degree. Okay, so therefore let us now first consider moment of inertia, first moment of this small elemental area about x-axis, which is equal to dA into y, and second moment of area will be equal to dA into y square. So now upon substitution, and also we know that second moment of entire area is equal to y square in integration y square into dA. Okay, now let us substitute all those values here. So a sine theta y square is a sine y value is a sine theta, and dA is uh, we which is dA is equal to a into dA, and therefore you substitute the value of y and dA. So dA is equal to a into dA into dA into d theta. So then for the substitution, so it will become a square sine square theta a into dA. So that will become a cube into sine square into dA d theta. So a cube into dA into uh, sine square d theta, and we know here, so a varies from 0 to r. Okay, and theta varies from um, 0 to 2 pi. Okay, consider the next step, moment of inertia. Okay, ixx is equal to integration 0 to r a cube dA into integration from 0 to 2 pi sine square theta. So integration of, let us first do one part integration of this, and then we will take up the integration of this. We know that the integration of sine square theta will be difficult. Okay, so we will convert this sine square theta into linear term, and then we will take up the integration. So we know that cos 2 theta is equal to 1 minus 2 sine squared theta. Okay, so you send this 2 sine squared theta this side, and the cos 2 theta the other side. It will become 2 sine square theta is equal to 1 minus cos 2 theta, and therefore sine square theta will be equal to 1 minus cos 2 theta, 1 minus cos 2 theta divided by 2, 1 minus cos 2 theta divided by 2. So substitute that, you will get it equal to that you just substitute the value of sine square theta and then integrate it. Okay, so now, okay, integration of 1 minus cos 2 theta d theta you will have to take up. So you can take this 1 by 2 outside. Okay, you first substitute, I mean take it outside, then integration from 0 to r a cube dA into integration from 0 to 2 pi 1 minus cos 2 theta into d theta. So integration of 1 will be theta, and the integration of cos 2 theta will be equal to sin 2 theta divided by 2. So substitute the limits from 0 to 2 pi. So then the value will become, so here the limits vary from 0. If you substitute, I mean 2 pi, so 2 pi minus sin 2 into 2 pi 4 pi, sin 4 pi will be 0. Okay, so that will become 0. Next, minus, you will have 0, okay, minus of sin 0, okay, sin 2 pi minus, okay, so here actually this one will be 2 pi minus 0, and here sin 4 pi minus sin 0, okay, so that will be the value. Next, um, and the, also integration of a cube will be r cube, a to the power 4 by 4. Therefore, if you substitute the limit of r, so it will become 0 to r, it will become r to the power of 4 by 4. So which is equal to r to the power of 4 by 2, and so r to the power of 4 by 8 it will become. And other limits, as you know, you are getting here. So 2 pi minus sin 4 pi minus sin 0 divided by 2. So further simplification, this will be 2 pi only 0, and this sin 4 pi is 0, sin 0 is 0. So this entire term will go off. Only remaining term will be this value. Therefore, this will become ixx is equal to pi r to the power of 4 by um, 4, pi r to the power 4 by 4, and if you substitute r is equal to d by 2, it will become pi d to the power 4 by 64. So this is the moment of inertia of a circle. Okay. So similarly, moment of inertia about I-axis can be obtained by pi d cube by pi d to the power of 4 by 64 only, because it is symmetrical and it is same. Ixx and Iy are same. Therefore, pi d to the power 4 by 64 is moment of inertia. Next, by perpendicular axis theorem, Izz is equal to, this is also sometimes required. So moment of inertia about the ZZ axis, perpendicular axis, is given by xx plus Iyy. That will become pi d to the power 4 by 64 plus pi d to the power 4 by 64, and it will become pi d to the power 4 by 32. Okay, so this is the moment of inertia of the circle about its perpendicular axis. That's nothing but polar moment of inertia of circular cross-sectional area. Okay, and also you can set substitute in r as well. So that will become pi r to the power 4. I mean pi r to the power of 4 by 2. Okay. Next, let us consider moment of inertia of a semicircle. Okay, to calculate moment of inertia of semicircle, same thing. What we need to do, we will have to consider the central axis AB. Actually, moment of inertia of central axis is about central axis is Ixx. Okay, and so it cannot be found out very directly. So what we will do, we'll find out the moment of inertia about AB, and then we'll calculate moment of inertia about the central axis, so which will be simpler. So we know that moment of inertia of a we will be just deriving this from moment of inertia of a circle. Okay, comparison, if you compare the semicircle with circle, okay, it's just a half of circle. Therefore, the moment of inertia will also be half of the circle. Okay, so since you have only half area, so in case of circle we had full area. Okay, double areas, two semicircles were there, one and semicircle two. So moment of inertia there was 5 to the power 4 by 64. So now there is no this part, second part is not there, only you have half semicircle, I mean half circle, which is nothing but semicircle. Therefore, moment of inertia about this actually in the previous case it was x axis, but now this has become AB. So axis AB. Therefore, moment of inertia about axis AB can be obtained by just dividing the moment of inertia of circle by 2. So it will become pi d to the power 4 by 128. Okay. So moment of inertia of semicircle, therefore then moment of inertia about about the central axis can be obtained by parallel axis theorem. We know that moment of inertia AB IAB is equal to IXX plus A into y bar square. But now we need this part. Okay. So just send these terms the other side. Okay. Then you will get IXX. Therefore IXX is equal to IAB minus a into this y bar. Y bar in case of semicircle, we know very clearly it is 4r by 3 pi. Substitute that 4r by 3 pi the whole square, and further simplification. And also we have IAB is equal to pi d to the power 4 by 128, and area of the semicircle is pi r square by 2 or pi d to the power pi d square by 8. Okay, so just substitute these terms in this equation. Okay, and y bar also we have this, you can substitute in, actually substitute all the values in either r or d. Okay, so let us substitute it in terms of d. Therefore r is d by 2. Substitute it here, it will become 4d by 6, and it's nothing but 2 the 2 2 the 2 3 the, so 2d by 3 pi. Substitute all these things in over here. So and further simplification. So here pi d to the power of 4 by 128 minus pi d square by 8, and square of 2 is 4, 4d square divided by 9, 3 square is 9, so 9 pi square. So then next step is, so if you multiply this one, actually it will become 4 by 9 is the 72. So keep it as it is, and then uh, so ix will become pi by 128 minus 1 by 18 pi, because for 18s I will get this one 72. So next taking uh, pi is equal to 3.43. Okay, and you can substitute, you will get the value of moment of inertia about ix is equal to 0.000686 d to the power 4. That is moment of inertia about central axis. Okay, and if you can substitute r is d is equal to 2 r, then it will become ix is equal to 0.11 r to the power 4. Okay, so similarly moment of inertia of quarter circle can be found, and which is equal to because about the base it will be uh, it will be 1/4 of the moment of inertia of circle, so which is equal to pi d to the power 4 by 256. And moment of inertia about x axis and y axis can be obtained by half of this value. Okay, half of that is equal to 0.00686 divided by 2, which is equal to 0.00343 d to the power 4, and in terms of r it will be 0.055 r to the power 4. Okay, so that's the end of the derivations of moment of inertia of the elemental areas like rectangle, triangle, circle, semicircle, and quarter circle. Thank you.